Welcome back to Time Served, the channel that scans the docket so you don't have to. In my opinion, Judge Boyd's punishments usually always fit the crime. However, after hearing what had happened in this case, you may have to question, did she get this one correct? I feel we left some meat on the bone with this monster. Please let us know your opinion by commenting below. Like and subscribe, it's no big deal for you, but it makes all the difference for this channel. Let's roll, nerds.
Simpson for the state of Texas.
For the defense.
On behalf of Mr. Simpson, on behalf of Mr. Cedillo, present on bond, Your Honor, and ready.
All right, and are you Mr. Guadalupe Cedillo?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, Cedillo. We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. The court will note for the record that the defendant is in the courtroom. Any objections to us proceeding by video? State?
No objections.
Defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Cedillo, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you elect and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Showing you what's entitled Application for Deferred Adjudication or Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, I'm showing you the acknowledgement of discovery. Have you received all the discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
I believe we have, and we have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, on both counts, sir. He's pleading to both counts, Your Honor.
Mr. Cedillo, I'm showing you what's entitled Court's Admonishment and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it at all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand in each count you're charged with injury to a child, bodily injury intentionally and knowingly? That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine, and that's for count 1 and count 2. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in each count and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Believe that he does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he is currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I believe on both he was, Your Honor.
I don't think so.
Mr. Cedillo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Before I talk to you about the plea bargain page, I have a question for the state and the defense. There's a box checked where the state recommends community supervision. I think this may be the defendant's initials. It looks like there's a check box by state opposes community supervision, deferred adjudication. So I'm assuming this is just the defendant's initials that have ran towards the line. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
We read the plea agreement initially that we reviewed it, Your Honor.
All right. So this is how I'm reading. Yes,
Judge, so we're recommending community supervision, but we're silent on their application for deferred.
All right. Thank you. So, Mr. Cedillo, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorneys and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, you are to be entering a plea or the state is proceeding on both count 1 and 2. Punishment is to be assessed at 8 years in the prison. There's a $1,000 fine. The state will remain silent on your application for deferred adjudication. The state recommends community supervision. Did you understand that to be the plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea bargain agreement?
The agreement as we understand it this time, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea bargain agreement?
It is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm going to show you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counselor, have there been any such motions?
No rulings at this time by the court, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you outside the plea bargain agreement. The state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 4 years. There be 100 hours of community service restitution, parenting class, anger management, no contact with Paul Martinez, Andrew Aguilar, Xavier Salazar, or Emily Cedillo. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to count 1 in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
To count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence to support the defendant's pleas.
Yes, Your Honor. We'll submit State's Exhibit number 1 plus attachments. The ages of the 2 boys are in the structured narrative. I believe it's like 5 and 6. I'm sorry, I don't have my copy here in front of me, but I made sure to highlight where it has dates of birth of both boys.
All right, thank you so much. Any objections, defense?
No objection, Your Honor.
Mr. Cedillo, I'm showing you what's entitled waiver and consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial? All right, after reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty of count 1 and count 2. Court would defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Would both parties wish to proceed with sentencing?
We do, Your Honor.
All right, anything you wish to, I'm sorry, Scott?
I'm
That's okay.
fine with that, Judge. Sorry.
All right, anything you wish to say on behalf of your client, Mr. Bartholomew?
Your Honor, there's a co-defendant in this case, was his wife, Your Honor. She's previously been sentenced in this case to deferred, apparently for conscious indifference, Your Honor, to the situation. We'd ask, and I've counseled long and hard with my client. She's pregnant at this time, Your Honor, with how many children? 1 child on the way, Your Honor. We have a potential no contact order with his other children and with her, Judge. We'd ask that in the event that the court places him on deferred, Your Honor, that he be allowed to contact his wife, Judge, and that we have an opportunity to review any further contact with the children at some later date, pending how he does and how he's on the program. She's completed an anger management course already, Judge, for CPS, I believe.
Yes, sir.
And we're not sure whether that would, at this point in time, comport with the court's requirement, as there's an anger management class considered in this particular case. He's gainfully employed, Your Honor. He's making $9.50 an hour and is contemplating applying now to McDonald's, Your Honor, for a $13.50 an hour job, Your Honor. So he has the ability to maintain and support his children, Judge, and we'd ask the court to place him on deferred, give him an opportunity to restore his good name in the community, and eventually, Your Honor, to be reunited with his children.
All right, what is the co-defendant's name?
Pauline Salazar, Judge. We did the plea in front of you. That was the one where you helped try to get her placed for a place to live. Remember we were
Okay, I
back in your
remember.
office for a while?
Yes, no, I remember
Mr.
this.
Carney
case.
represented her, Your Honor.
All right, I remember it now. Mr. Cedillo?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're under oath. The clerk swore you in. How old are you?
I'm 39.
All right, why are you holding a child's head underneath the water?
I don't know, ma'am.
Well, I mean, you had to know. What were you thinking?
I wasn't.
Child
thinking-
can't breathe.
I
No,
wasn't
you have to be thinking something because you grab a child.
think it was out of anger, ma'am.
What are you angry about?
I don't know. I don't know what was going on.
Well, I mean, you have to know because here's the thing. If you're going to hold a child's head underwater, the first thing you have to do is you have to find water, or either you have to run water in a bathtub or run water in something. Then you have to take the child, grab the child, and hold their head underneath water. So my question is, why were you doing this?
Being stupid, ma'am.
No, that's not being stupid. Being stupid is you're jumping off a bridge into water below thinking it's going to be fine. Being stupid is Jumping into a pen where there's a bull and you decide you're going to run around the bull because you saw it in a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That's being stupid. But you took a child's head and held it underneath the water. So what were you thinking when the child's head was being held underneath the water?
I'm an ass. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I wasn't thinking, man.
And then what were you thinking when you were striking them with belts?
It was just angry, man. I felt like I just wanted to spank him, like just trying to teach him a lesson.
A lesson from what?
Just he kept stealing, and I just didn't know how else to deal with it. You know, I told him to stop stealing. He kept stealing, and I just didn't know how to do it.
No, because it's in here that he actually was not stealing. But this is what I'm reading. It says, he described another incident where he got in trouble for talking about the belt hitting his hand. So AP, that's you, dragged him to his room by the hair, and once in the room proceeded to slap him. He described all of this to feel very painful and that it causes him to cry.
That's incorrect, man.
Okay.
I've never done that.
Child stated that he has been choked by AP1 on multiple occasions and stated he was unable to breathe and described his body to be floating because his feet would be off the ground and body against the wall from AP1 choking him.
That's incorrect, man.
He also described his face being shoved into water. And AP's bed and pillow on multiple occasions also preventing him from being able to breathe.
No, man, that's false, man.
Okay. All right. I think we lost Mr. Simpson. Let me see who's back.
I'm here still. I'm here, Judge.
All right. So, Mr. Sadia, are you saying none of this is true? That none of this happened? Are you saying that you did not hold it? Sorry?
I did spank him.
So you're saying you didn't hold this child's head underneath the water?
I mean, I probably did it like on one occasion, but it wasn't long, man. It wasn't like I was trying to hurt him or anything.
Okay. Is there anything else from either side?
Nothing further from the defense at this time, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to find you guilty of count 1, guilty of count 2. And each count 1 and count 2 will run concurrent. Court will sentence you to 8 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 4 years. $1,000 fine, that will be probated. Anger management. No unsupervised contact. Well, no. There's to be no contact with minors. Doesn't matter if it's your own biological child or not, you're not to have any contact with minor children until further notice. 100 hours of community service restitution. I'll deduct 40 hours if you provide proof that you've had your COVID vaccine. I'm not forcing anyone to get the vaccine, but if you obtain the vaccine, 40 hours will be deducted. There's to be no contact with Pauline Salazar, Paul Martinez, Andrew Aguilar, Xavier Salazar, Emily Cedillo, CPS compliance if applicable, parenting classes.
CPS is already
Well, I'm wondering if they'll be back in the picture once she gives birth. So,
okay, I get
just
you.
in case. Parenting classes with Compadre, Compadre, Proof of employment within 30 days. No employment as a home health care provider or with minors. Field visits random 3 times per month. Are you able to Zoom, Mr. Cedillo?
Yes, ma'am.
There's going to be regular Zoom reporting. If something happens, then you are to report in person. If you're drug tested today, what are the results?
Negative.
I'm going to want a UA today
Yes, ma'am.
by 3 p.m. If it's negative, then there'll be regular UAs. If positive, then I'm going to want the UA hotline. Rebecca, is there anything else Mr. Cedillo needs?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Cedillo, is there anything else you need from this court in order to be successful?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I believe at this point, I'd like to ask the court, considering the fact that his wife, Your Honor, you're not allowing him to contact his wife, Judge?
No. Here's the thing, Mr. Cedillo. Let me tell you why you're not contacting your wife. Your wife cannot be trusted to protect these children when you are in their life. And it appears to me from reading the report that both you and your wife were abusive to children. So maybe the reason why there's anger and children are being abused is because we have 2 adults who are abusing children and neither one of them is protecting child. So I can't depend on her to be protective, and I certainly can't depend on you to be protective. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're not to have any contact until further notice.
Right, so we can reapproach the court at some point in time based on performance, Your Honor?
Yes. And there's to be no contact with Ms. Salazar either. So there's to be no doctor's appointments for you, no prenatal appointments. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything else you need from me in order to be successful in this probation?
Not at this time, Your Honor.